What's going on? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Um, it's another 4 a.m. session. I thought my camera was froze there. I was like, you know what I mean? um, as you know, I just get on here and I speak from the heart. I don't be necessarily having anything specifically that I be wanting to, you know, um, start on. I just like to be guided by whatever I feel. You know what I mean? And That's how we gonna go. That's how we gonna go in. You know, yeah, I got whoa, what's up, what's up? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Be more, be more. You already see I got the Bea Gaddy representing. I made this like in 2017. This is from the Glorious Heroes collection, where I would highlight the heroes in the city and abroad. You know what I mean? But Bea Gaddy was the very first art print that I created, whereas though I turned the images black and white, which is the heroes, and I put glorious over their eyes because, sometimes in that time I create like this theme where, some people don't recognize glorious heroes until they're gone. So that's what this is basically from. And it also, is an ode to my mother, Glorious. As y'all may know, she died of a heart attack. So this was the first print series. I'm thinking about actually producing some prints of this collection that I had released that had Muggsy Bogues, it had Frederick Douglass, it had a few of our heroes that we that from that active because Frederick Douglass, as you know, he was in Fells Point. He still has property that still stands to this day that uh, he had owned in Fells Point. So a lot of history here in Baltimore, as well as Billie Holiday. I did a Billie Holiday one that had Glorious over their eyes, and I did the Colin Kaepernick one. The Colin Kaepernick one, though, that got the attention of Colin Kaepernick, and he shared it in his stories. He retweeted it, and that's when people started taking notice to that Glorious collection. So, but again, I wouldn't recreate those again, but I will probably launch that as prints. Um, and just today, I was just working on a few things for the Hearts and Heroes collection. So look out for that. The Hearts and Heroes is I'm really bringing out the actual heart, the bloody heart, because as I said in this short checking on the channel, more often we romanticize the heart. You know what I mean? It's like that, right? But the real heart is bloody and it's messy. And I feel like that kind of like coincides with what art is, because art is not perfect. You know, of course, the heart that's beating inside of us is perfect in design of how God created us, to be able to walk the earth and, of course, if we take care of our bodies or whatever natural ailments that we face when we are put here. But outside of all that, the heart isn't perfect at all. And that's why I like to kind of like share with individuals who feel like they're not artists. Everybody is an artist. Everybody is good at something. Art it just does not consist of, you know, the brushing of strokes onto a canvas. It consists of, the art, culinary arts, cooking, talking, the way you smile at somebody, the way you might walk into a room and you might light up the place, that is an art form. You get what I'm saying? So I like to go into that. But other than that, man, like life, what I mean, has been lifing in the beginning of this year. But it's starting to turn around, what I mean? Things are starting to, uh, and it's needed, the storms come, what I mean, and they go, what I'm saying? But you just gotta continue to respond differently as they come along, what I mean? And you know, I think it was like in April of 2022. That's when I had you know I let go of my full time job to work part time and take the art my art full time. And it was some challenges there. It was definitely some challenges, but just like anything that you're starting new, there's going to be some challenges. You know what I mean? It's going to be some bumps and some bruises, and especially this past summer. I mean, we were in a brief recession, inflation. It was hard for me to get some of my materials. because it was so much things that were in demand because of we coming off the last leg of the pandemic. So yeah, man, it was kind of crazy, man, but got through it, and things have been um, showing so much as to the reason why things like that had to happen. So much appreciation that I have now for entrepreneurs. I've had it before, but it's the difference between you being on the sidelines and you just like and then you actually in it. You get what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people who've stepped up, who've gave me words of encouragement, those that were, that in my circle that I've allowed to actually know what was going on. A lot of my collectors that collected for me, they had a lot of patience. I mean, I'm talking like I've shipped out a few packages to wrong addresses, or some stuff just didn't come back, so I was months behind having to catch up. And then I had to release other drops to fulfill because, I was doing this full time. I had to release other drops to try to fulfill what I've had lost because, when you call these companies, these shipping companies, they're telling you like, oh, okay, wait a little while. It may turn up, or they'll say things like, it might, kind of be resent to your address. And when some of them did come back and I was able to ship them back out, but when I released the wire capsule, I had put, if you look at my site and the poly mailers that I create that's on the packaging, normally the images is on the packaging. So you'll have the Akio's logo on the packaging, on the poly mailers. You'll have, when I released the Be More Love collection, you'll have the image of Jada Pinkett and Tupac on in the packaging. You can see it that's printed onto the packaging. So for the wire joint, I had the wire had when they were sitting on the couch, the orange couch, and you gotta know, what I mean, because this is before the KIF collection had dropped. Um, if somebody sees that, and this is in Baltimore or anywhere, a lot of people are fans of the wire, especially if it's not a direct signature onto the package. People will take that. You know what I'm saying? They will take it. So I wasn't thinking that. You know what I mean? I should have known better. Because when you don't put direct signature, if anybody that has a business, you have to put direct signature on all your packages. If you do not, it succumbs to either regular individuals that might walk past the package that might scoop it up, or even in some cases, the actual reps from the actual shipping spot, FedEx specifically. That because I had mad things that got misplaced, taken, and they didn't even reach the customer. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, how is that even possible? So don't get me started with that, man. You know what I mean? I have some learning curves, that I had to deal with. But it's all part of the growing pains of starting a business. You really never really know until you really just, do it. So you got to learn by doing, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for it all. You know what I mean? All glory go to God because every time I do find myself in some crazy situations, it might not happen on time when I want it. I mean, it might happen during the time that I want to receive, these things, but it always happens on time when I need it. So, I'm just being transparent on here, man. I, love to leave the digital footprint because a lot of people have perceptions on what's going on. They see your life on a post. They think they know you, you know what I mean, because they see that you post. And I mean, grateful. I'm grateful for technology. It's an amazing tool, but it has created a sense of separation where if you see, your friends or your family members online every day, you feel like you don't even got to pick up the phone. You feel like you ain't got to give them a call. And it's really, kind of I mean, like I said, you think about those movies back in the day where they sit in the chair and it's like the virtual reality thing. And you think about most of us are looking at this magic mirror and we're on our devices anywhere between 3 to 4 to 5 hours a day. And I ain't just talking about the phone, because your TV is a device too. Because guess what? It's a smart what? TV. So if you're not necessarily on your phone, you're still on a device. And sometimes it's needed because sometimes, I don't have any children, But I'm sure that sometimes, parents need a break. You know what I mean? So, we utilize the technology, we utilize these devices to occupy, our children or our nieces and our nephews. But we always have to create that balance, to try to like have that human interaction. And because if you don't use it, you lose it. You lose the, oh, maybe I need to give a call on the situation because it's like back in the day, right? When I used to play the video game, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo and all that other stuff, right? You're enjoying the game, right? So you can play that game and maybe it's just me, but hours have passed by. It'll go from morning to afternoon to the evening real fast. And you're like, where did Saturday go? Or where did they go? And if you're not careful, you can do that, you can do that, as you're going about your day. And sometimes, when you're at work or when I was working, sometimes it passes by. I remember I was working um, uh, like last year at Hopkins, and business and stuff was booming. It was booming, man. And I had to create posts. I was trying to keep up, kind of share with the people what was going on. And I remember my coworker, shout out to Pat. Yo, was like, hey, yo, look, Doug, I know what you got going on. I know, but yo, we still got a job that we got to do. I mean, we still have the job. And I said, yeah, I know, Doug, but let me just, because I'm writing invoices, I'm doing it all on my phone. And, how the work was set up, you had to put stuff on a conveyor. So here I am trying to do things all at once. And it just was, because it was me and him there. Now, when I was working at another department at Hopkins, I would just do my work and then go back to doing what I'm doing because I would do this thing where I would bring my work to work. The Nick Cannon shoes that I was commissioned to do, by Chef Keisha B. Shout out Chef Keisha B. Um, she was a good friend of Nick Cannon's. I met her when I had did the shoes for Dave Chappelle, the second pair that I did for him for the Netflix Equanimity and Bird Revelation Air Forces that I merged all that into one piece. And I remember maybe about a month or two later, she was like, "Hey, Keo, like, I got this. I wanted to do something for Nick Cannon. You know what I mean?" And so she commissioned me to make the sneakers, and you know, um, I was still working. You know what I'm saying? I was still working, and I brought the shoes to work. I actually got a picture. You know what I mean? Where I'm holding the can of shoes. I'm in my work uniform, and this is in 2018, and I'm just painting the sneakers. And a lot of coworkers, they was like, "Yo, how you just, you know what I mean, going come to work with the work?" But I'm like, look, I'm coming here. I'm trying to get my work done. And I'm trying to. So you can imagine that was in 2018. So things weren't actually where they were in 2022, where I was getting contacted by not only just people who wanted me to do things for clients, right? But they wanted me to do things for like production studios, like HBO Max, David McSman, Own Network, um, what else? Stars, right? The BMF when they was first doing pre-production. It was just like an increase, and I'm just still trying to maintain. But it started showing up. That thing where they say it's called quiet quitting. Yeah, that's what I was doing. So back to me and Pat working together, he was always encouraging me, like, "Look, Doug, I support your business, but hey, man, like, let's hurry up and do what we need to do." And it started being overwhelming to the point where I people started during the pandemic. It was rough for everybody, so they started letting some people go, and they had moved me to a different spot and in a different department, and it was like where I started at in 2010 because I worked for Hawkins for about 12 years, and because the robot was down, right? And I noticed that because when you down there, and then plus like when a robot is down, you have to manually bed the cages up. So the bedding from the cages is like like this. I can't. It's like it was like a debris of dust. So here it is. You already know it's the pandemic, and sometimes when you inhale that dust, when you get on your break or something like that, when you blow your nose, it's blood. So it's the pandemic. You don't want to have no type of paranoia about that. You know what I mean? So and then especially like the wear and tear of the body being down there, we call it the the umbrella corporation because it was like a whole like laboratory of just some stuff, man. But it took a wear and tear on my body because the shifts had changed. They had me working 12-hour shifts, being that I wake up like early in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually doing more because I'm already working before I even get to work. So by the time Thursday hit, when it came time for me to do what I needed to do as my business, I had no energy left. None whatsoever. I was burnt out. And you can do 12 hours full time on your full time gig, but as an entrepreneur, you got to do the same thing for your business, right? You know what I mean? Because then you have a business that you have to fulfill. But when I started noticing that more of my energy was put into, that, and I started quiet quitting. So I started coming to work, still trying to make sure I fulfill what I need to fulfill, try to do both. And it became overwhelming. And I wanted my Sundays off again so that way I can work my regular shift because the shift wasn't promised. They said that, no, man, like you're going to be, you can go, you can switch anytime. But then it came to a point where I was trying to switch my shift and they felt comfortable with me working that shift. And I was just like, man, nah, man. So all roads was pointing to me making this decision that my friend Darnell Ron has been telling me to make for quite some time. You know what I mean? Since 2015. But, people can tell you all that, but you have to be ready. You have to get into that. And it's never a right time. So that's what I wound up doing. But like I said, it was really, it was, yeah, it has its ups and downs, you know what I mean? But I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. It really showed the people who were supportive of me and who actually, uh, really is definitely uh, genuine and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm gonna be making logs and just dropping conversations here from time to time, just to kind of like tap in, so I can leave this digital footprint. You know what I mean? And it's a lot more things to come. I'd rather show rather than do. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'd rather, yeah, just show rather than talk about it. And again, like if y'all have been doing that practice that I said in the previous session, which is writing the 300 things that you want down, and really trying to see that list every day. Again, something else had happened that came out of that list just yesterday. And I'm like, wow. So again, write 300 things that you want. You know what I'm saying? Just write it down. Just look at that joint before you fall asleep or when you wake up in the morning. Just observing that list. You know what I mean? It's never too late. You're never too old. You know what I mean? When you tell that to yourself, then, that kind of like brings that, but no, no. I mean, it's worth the practice. I'm practicing it. And then as I keep continue to scratch off the list of the things that have came to pass, I'm gonna update y'all. You know what I'm saying? But definitely join me on that. But all right, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm gonna continue this day. Hope that y'all have a wonderful. It's Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday. So hope y'all having a good Friday, or y'all well, not having a good Friday because my Friday has already started. But I hope that y'all have a great day. If y'all about to get some shut eye, recharge, rest, and yeah, man. So all right. Oh yeah, and also if y'all haven't, if y'all go onto my YouTube channel and you go to it's Home Video Shorts Live, you click on that live tab. Click on that live tab, right? We moved me and my friend Jazz, my childhood friend Jazz, we moved from Instagram to now having the episodes on my YouTube channel. It's originally called the Yeah Man Yeah podcast, but now we had changed the name to Jazz and Keys, right? It's just conversations that him and I be having, but definitely check that out. The episode 29, we titled it "Call Winslow." And it's funny because Family Matters used to come on Fridays. I'm talking about my age here. I mean, I forgot what channel it was on. It was a ABC, whatever. But check that episode out. More episodes to come. And shout out to both of y'all that's been in this live rocking with me. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all time, man. Definitely. I have one more print that's available. You know what I mean? Yup, Jazz and Keys, JT. I got one more print that's available for the Running Man. Them joints with. I only printed out four of them because I didn't even plan to have it as a thing. But now I only got one more left. So definitely check that out on buyakioevans.com. It's 11 by 17 And I also have two one of one hats that I'm never ever going to create again. It's a Dr. Sebi one, and it's also the Dick Gregory one. They're the trucker hats, the tree hats, the snapback joints. You get what I'm saying? It was an original design that I didn't order, but they gave it to me by mistake. But I just went on ahead and make it. But it won't be duplicated. These are the only ones that's on there. So grab that too. And this is for the playback people who would be possibly looking at this. But appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for your time. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful. But yeah, man, if anything I want to know, just let me know. You know what I mean? What y'all want me to talk about? Because I got so much to talk about, but I want to be able to, engage and fulfill what y'all request. So definitely leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. All right. So anyway, peace, peace, peace. Thank y'all. One love.